Ordering fractions is what we're going to look at in this video. It's split into two parts. We're first going to start off by looking at some rather simple examples to do with ordering fractions, where we have an existing common denominator that we can use. And then we're going to look at slightly harder examples where we have to find a lowest common denominator. So the way my videos work, I'm going to do the example on the left, which is I do. You are then going to press pause and have a go at the example on the right, which is you do. Now, in order to order these, what we want to do is make the denominator, so that's this number down here, all the same. So in order to do that, we need to find a number that all of these are divisible by. It always makes sense to start with the biggest number. So the biggest denominator is 8. Now, is 8 divisible by 4? Yes, it is. Is 8 divisible by 2? Yes, it is. So now I can rewrite this. So I can keep this the same. So that's just 3 out of 8. With this, now in order to make the denominator 8 here, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 2. And now when I times the top and bottom by 2, notice what happens to the bottom. We now have an 8. And then finally, if I copy this one down, well, here I need to times the top and bottom by 4, because that will give me the 8. So that's 4 over 8. And now notice what's happened. 8, 8, 8. And now we can put these in order. So the smallest is that one there. Then it's that one. And then it's that one. But now remember, the question has asked us to order this. So we need to make sure we are ordering what's been asked. So the smallest here is 1 over 4. So I'm going to write 1 over 4 is the smallest, and then I can cross them off if it makes it easier. We can cross that off. That's done. The next one is this one here. So that's just 3 over 8 as it is in the question. And then finally we have 4 over 8, but that's written as a half in the question. So we can write that as a half. Okay, so hopefully you've pressed pause and had a great example on the right. So we want to make the denominators the same. We look at the biggest number first, 10. Is 10 divisible by 5? Yes, it is. Is it divisible by 2? Yes, it is. So we can then rewrite this. So this then becomes, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 5. So that gives me 5 over 10. For this one, I times the top and bottom by 2. That gives me 4 over 10. And for the final one, I times the top and bottom. I don't need to do anything because that's already a 10. And now we have 10, 10, 10. So I can see the smallest is 3 out of 10. So that's written as just that. So I can then write 3 out of 10. And if it makes it easier, you can just cross them off as you go. Now, the next smallest one is 4 out of 10. That's written as 2 over 5. So we're going to write here 2 over 5, and we can cross that out. And then finally, we're left with 5 over 10, which is just written as a half in the question. So that is the final answer. Now, here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now, moving on to slightly trickier ones. So here we've been asked to do the exact same thing. So look at the biggest number, it's 20. Is 20 divisible by 2? Yes, it is. Is 20 divisible by 8? No, it's not. Okay, so what do you do in this case? Well, we can list out some multiples of 20, but if we just double 20, what do we get? We get 40. Is 40 divisible by 2? Yes, it is. Is 40 divisible by 8? Yes, it is. Okay, so now we've found a number that's divisible by it. So how do we get this to 40 in the denominator? We just times the top and bottom by 2. So that gives me 26 over 40. Now, how do I get this second fraction to a 40 at the bottom? Well, I just need to times the top and bottom by 20. And how do I get this to become 40 in the denominator? Well, I just times the top and bottom by 5. And now you can see the smallest one is that one there, which is a half. So I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to cross this off. The next smallest one is 25. So I can write that down here. So that's 25 is 5 over 8. I can cancel that out. That and that goes. And then finally, we're just left with that one there. So we can just put that there. 13 over 20. And again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go at this one. So the biggest number is 6. Now 6 is divisible by 3, but it's not divisible by 4. So we can double it. If we double 6, that becomes 12. Now, is 12 divisible by 4? Yes, it is. Is 12 divisible by 3? Yes, it is. Okay, so now we just need to write these all as 12. So how do I write this one as 12? Well, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 4. How do I write this one as 12? Well, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 2. And how do I write this one as 12? Well, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 3. And now I can see that the smallest one here is 1 out of 4. So I can cross that out. The next smallest one is 2 out of 3. So I can cross this out. And then finally we're just left with 5 over 6. And moving on, so just one more example on this. Now this one's slightly trickier, so we can see straight away that 12 is the biggest number, but 12 isn't divisible by 5, and it's not divisible by 10 either. If I double 12, I get 24. Now I can see that 24 is not divisible by either one. So what we can do is list out some factors of 12, multiples of 12. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Okay, and now if you look at the multiples of 12, are any of these divisible by 5 and 10? Well, I can see straight away that 60 is divisible by 5 and 10. So I know that I need to rewrite all of these fractions as over 60. Okay, so how do I do that with this one here? Now with this one here on the far right, we're just going to times top and bottom by 5. So that gives us 35 there. With the next one, how do we get from 5 to 60? Well, that's just times 12. So we're just going to do 12 times 4, which is 48. That's 48. So we've times this one by 4, this one by 5, and then this one by 6. So we know 6 times 6 is 36. Now I can see straight away, so the answer is 35, 36, and then 48. Now remember what we want to write down is the original fraction, so that's 7 out of 12. Then it's 6 out of 10, and then it's 4 out of 5. So again, hopefully you've pressed pause now to get the example on the right. So the biggest number is 15. 15 isn't divisible by 9, but it is by 3. So we can just list out, we can double it. Does that help us at all? No. So we can just list out some multiples of 15 here then. We have 15, 30, 45. Well, actually, 45 is divisible by 3 and 9. So we can just stop there. So we're going to write all 3 of these over 45. So that means I'm going to times 3 times 15 is 45. So I'm going to times this by 15 at the top and bottom. So that becomes 15 over 45. With this one, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 5. So that's 40 over 45. And finally, with this one, I'm going to times the top and bottom by 3, which is 12. So I can see the smallest here is 12, 15, 40. So my answer is going to be 4 over 15. And then it's going to be 1 over 3. So I can cancel this one out. And then finally, we're just left with the 8 over 9. Here are some questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now that's the end of this video. If you would like a full worksheet on this, I've left it down in the comments below over on my website. And if you found this useful, I've got loads of other content like this over on my channel. Do check it out.